Welcome to SEC Football Live, actually live today here on the 440 Sports Network. That is Trey Wallace of Outkick. I am Braden Gall, and we are brought to you by M.L. Rose. 7 great locations. Wing Wars, SEC Wing Wars ongoing at all 7 locations all across Middle Tennessee. Kentucky made a big move up the standings last week. Kentucky.
Did they pass Vanderbilt?
Vanderbilt actually is still very much way higher on the list than you'd imagine. So,
okay, all right,
doing real college football things. The Vanderbilt Commodores actually buying wings and drinking beer at ML Rose, drinking craft beer and watching college football. That's not their team. What is happening? What is happening? ML Rose, 7 great locations. Of course, good stuff by you. We'll get into this, but a great article by you. The headline: The trade. Joey Aguilar embraces Tennessee spotlight against Georgia as Nico watches from afar. We'll get to that story coming up. As Georgia and Tennessee, huge weekend of action in week number 3. We'll get to that. Obviously, Billy Napier, hot seat talk. We've got South Carolina and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt deserving of a lot of conversation this week after a huge road win and a big road test this weekend. Oklahoma and John Mateer putting themselves into the playoff conversation. So a lot of things to do today on the show. Trey, good afternoon. How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. There's been just a lot of stuff going on the last couple of days. For some reason my X notifications are down too, which is weird. That's just been something else today. Not getting those. And then dude, so much good college football. And then, looking back kind of on last weekend, we kind of talked about it right before, but like last night I went and watched I didn't watch the whole second half. I didn't watch the whole second half of Florida USF, but like I broke it down, and watched some possessions, and then USF kicking the 58-yarder, missing it, and then.
All right. Let's start there then. Let's start there then, because at the end of the day, I don't think that you can survive losing at home to a Group of 5 team with a 20-20 record at a place like Florida that expects to win championships. So I'm not trying to talk anybody out of making a change at Florida with Billy Napier. I do think that a loss to South Florida by 1 point or 2 points or whatever it was is going to age extremely well. I think it's a very good football team. I think it is a deserving team, and I think that the problem is, I think the same. The problem is it's the same stuff that we've seen when Florida fails in these moments under Billy Napier, which is some crazy mental mistakes by a player who spits on a guy on a key drive, which again, like, I know that they're just imitating what they saw on Thursday night in the NFL, but if anything, you should have that as a teaching moment. It's a special teams gaffe at a critical situation where you give up 2 points. We don't know how healthy does DJ Lagway look fully healthy to you? I don't know. So I just don't think we're at Billy Napier's shown progress. He's shown growth. The team got much better. There's lots of talent. There's more talent on the team. DJ Lagway's great. I think they could still go on and have a good season. They got a really tough schedule. Blah, 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 blah. You can't make the case for yourself when you lose at home to a G5 team in state by being sloppy. You just can't.
No, and then I was trying to remember the drive, but it was the last drive for USF where Byron completes a pass out to the flats, and then I forgot his name, and I apologize. Receiver breaks 4 tackles, and he goes down the sideline for 35 yards.
It was a backwards pass.
Tap his ass outside, get him out of the field to play. Like, what are we doing? And then the breakdown. I mean, the pocket breakdown, and Byron goes and makes plays, and Florida's defense looking stagnant. Then you add the 15-yard penalty. I mean, damn, they had the ball inside the 5-yard line just ready to win the game. Like, they'd kicked it if they could from the 30, And by the way, it's like Golis was like toying with Florida, kicking that 58-yard field goal. Like, I mean, by the way, he was short by like 2 yards, 3 yards.
Again, the last offensive possession by Florida, also a microcosm of the situation. They get the ball back coming out, and they have to call timeout on first down coming out of a change of possession. Then apparently it's a DJ Lagway check at the line. He goes to the throw. Like, if they run the ball twice, they get to the 2-minute warning. They call a timeout. They get to the 2-minute warning. Either way, they're getting to the 2-minute warning and then hopefully running some more clock and honestly, the throw to the flat was terrible. The throw down the sideline on third down, I don't have as much problem with because you're already in that situation. But they had opportunities. If you look, I pulled this up because I wanted to read this to you because this is bad.
I'm ready.
So I want to read you the second half offensive drive chart for Florida.
Okay.
3 plays, -8 yards, punt. 3 plays, 25 yards, interception. 7 plays, 44 yards, punt, longest drive of the half. 3 plays, 6 yards, safety. 5 plays, 20 yards, touchdown. That was the special teams play. And then they get the penalty tacked on. So the only points they scored was off of a 20-yard field, a short field in the red zone. Then 2 possessions, 8 plays, 34 yards, takes 5 minutes off the clock. That's not a bad drive. They punt, and then 3 plays, 2 yards, 27 seconds, punt. That was their entire second half offense against a group of 5 team at home with a projected number 1 pick at quarterback.
By the way, like on the safety gaff, I mean, how the hell do you hike the ball over a 6'5" punter?
He's a tall guy.
Like, he's a tall guy. No, I mean, look, credit to USF for what they were doing defensively. I thought the secondary played well against Florida. I liked what Byron Brown did at times. It wasn't like he was flashy the whole game or anything like that. It wasn't. They found a way. The touchdown was a breakdown in the secondary. You know, the USF touchdown that took the lead before Florida came back and took it was a breakdown in the secondary. It was 1-on-1 on the right. And so I'm fascinated right now with the Florida Gators because I think something is going on with DJ Lagway. I think he has a lower body injury. I still think it might be something to do with, but whether that was his calf or whether it's a hamstring. He's not running around like DJ Lagway I saw last year. He's not getting out of plays. Out of tackles. He looks timid trying to run the football. And at the same time, Billy talked about it. I mean, he said 3 weeks of practice. Let's really think about that for a minute. Since the last game of last year that he participated in, he said 3 weeks of practice. 3 on live. Yeah. So did you rush him back a little bit? Did Harrison Bailey? I'm not saying Harrison Bailey needed to play, but I'm saying, is there times where Harrison Bailey? I just don't. The excuse part to me.
Did you hear his answer? Did you hear his answer? Where he's like, it was coaching.
Oh, I heard it. I heard it, and I also heard him just. Okay, so I watched post game. I watched the post game press conference. I watched Monday's press conference. I listened to the teleconference today. Billy's out here cutting off just about everybody before they can even get a question out, and I'm like, all right, man, like brutal. This is not the way you're going after our boy Edgar Thompson, like the G.
Edgar. I like Edgar.
No,
he's abrasive, but I like him.
Oh, I know. No, I know. Edgar just tells you exactly how it is.
Have you seen have you seen this Allman Brothers show from 1972?
Right. And I love Edgar, and God bless that. But what I'm getting at is like he got very short today on the SEC teleconference, and I'm like, my man. All right. If you go to Baton Rouge and lose,
so I feel so strange about this. That's a 7.5 point spread. I actually think Florida's going to play really well. I don't know why.
I do too. I
think they're going to play well. Their schedule's too hard for him to save his job, I don't think. Now, here's the thing, though, and I want to know like what's the right order of operations here. If you're talking about sort of, if you're talking about Billy Napier's future, number one, a couple of dynamics, right? It's not as big of a buyout as Mark Stoops, right? I think it's in the high 20s. I don't know if you have any numbers on that, but I think it's in the high 20s.
But they would.
Mid-20s. It feels like and they would negotiate it. It feels like it is a sort of, it's one of those like regular buyouts. It's not like a Mark Stoops or a Jimbo Fisher buyout. They have a new, they've re-signed the athletic director, Scott Strickland, to a new contract. He's been extended. They've sort of settled on an interim president, all things they didn't have figured out last year when they were struggling through the first half of the season. So there's a more stable environment for the athletic department. Also, they're not dealing with some crazy drama in the basketball coach either. So like it's just sort of quieter and calmer and more prepared for a coaching search at this point. They can be the first team. They also will probably be the best brand on the coaching search in theory. There's not many jobs that will be better than Florida in this situation. So the question is sort of right. And I mean, Kentucky makes a change. If Arkansas makes a change, if anybody else, I mean, there's a handful of jobs out there that would be considered better than Florida. Not many,
but nothing is sexy like that. That's not sexy,
right?
Like Florida's sexy. And by the way, his buyout, I pulled up his contract. You got to pay him 85% of the current deal, which would be $19.38 million, with 50% of the buyout. 9.7 would be due within 30 days of him being fired, and the rest is going to be paid out in monthly installments.
So it's like 18 million?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like 22. Either way, 18 million is very manageable. You can pass the hat around and get that.
Dude, you can raise that at church on Sunday, the offering plate. Yeah, you're good.
So the question is, like, when's the right time? And what are the right options here? Because like Buster Faulkner, offensive coordinator at Georgia Tech, for example.
Yep.
That is a guy that I am going to push for every job in America and in the NFL, because I think he's a brilliant offensive mind. He's a $2 million coordinator. I love watching his offenses play at Georgia Tech. That's the kind of guy that maybe you take a risk on. No head coaching experience. So I don't know what the right strategy is. Let's just, before you get to candidates, like, what's the right strategy for Florida? Because they went Dan Mullen, who is an established guy, who's a great offensive mind, couldn't recruit. Billy Napier's this program builder, and the program is in better shape today than it was when he got there. What is the right strategy for hiring a coach should they make a move midway, end of season, whatever it might be?
Well, I mean, go back to when Billy was hired at Florida. Like, all Scott Strickland did was interview Billy Napier. Like, that's it. Like, formally. Like, Billy was his guy. Congratulations to Steve Strickland for signing that contract extension last week, because he'll probably be hiring the new head coach. They don't just hand out 5-year extensions if they're not going to give him the power also. But I will say this, though. The Bull Gator Club, which is the fundraising arm of Florida Athletics, will have a lot more say in this hire if it happens than the next one. Yeah. But I mean, I'm not, when I say the word, when I use like Alex Golis as an example, I just want to be using Alex Golis as an example. I'm saying that somebody with head coaching experience, okay, but somebody that can also come in and galvanize a program. Like, Billy is not selling tickets, and Billy wasn't selling tickets off his personality and getting out of the community even before the season started. So let's just get that out there clear. He doesn't excite you, and I mean that in the nicest way possible. He just it's Billy Napier.
Great dude, smart guy, love the guy. Yeah.
Yes, I love
Billy. Which is probably why he's not like mean enough to be the head coach in the SEC.
Awesome guy, but here's the thing though: when they make the move, and I'm saying when they make the move, they got to go try to get a splash first. And by the way, like, for everybody out there watching, there is a different protocol now when it comes to firing coaches. If Billy Napier loses let's just say he loses to LSU this weekend, loses at Miami, and then, they play Arch and Texas that next game. So if he loses the next two, they will fire Billy Napier, and they will have an interim coach, and this Florida Gators will go out and start their search. Now, obviously, you can't go grab somebody right now.
Right. Is John Summerall too much like Billy Napier?
I don't.
John Summerall is the head coach at Tulane. He is also sort of like a slow program builder who's in this, in Louisiana, coached at Troy, has been very good. He's a Kentucky alumni, so he's been earmarked for the Kentucky job when Stoops leaves. He's a very good coach.
Who many thought he was going to get it because Stoops was about to leave A&M until A&M said, never mind.
Is it that kind of guy? Is it, Willie Fritz, who's older but kind of established at Houston? Is it the rising hot shot? I think Jamie Chadwell has sort of run its course. I think if he was going to get a big job, he's been vetted, and probably people don't like what they see. I'm curious, like, what is the right guy? Give me the
I had a name thrown out to me today.
All right.
And I was fascinated by
Dion.
No, Shane Beamer.
Oh God. Well, we should note that Shane Beamer and Vanderbilt have made it more likely that Shane Beamer will be at Virginia Tech.
Exactly. No, what I'm getting at is that type of name. You got to go out and at first make the splash, and then if the splash comes back to bite you in the face, okay, that's fine. But you remember you're
going to call Dan Lanning. Dan Lanning is that kind of name, but he's not coming.
No, Dan Lanning's not coming to Florida.
He didn't take the Alabama job.
No, and Florida has to realize they're in a different spot now compared to Mike Norvell didn't take the Bama job. Florida's in a different spot right now. They got money, but at the same time,
like Matt Campbell at Iowa
State,
don't
have money. Right.
Matt Campbell at Iowa State would do a great job. You may not like how they play the game, but they're probably going to win a lot of games.
Absolutely. And I promise you he'll recruit like hell. And he'll get you play. And also, by the way, Florida, you're not having to bring in 70 players like Belichick did at North Carolina. You know what I mean? Like, you're not having to do that. Now, you brought up Deion. Oh, Deion would be badass at Florida, but he's not.
They win so fast at Florida, and then it explodes like the Hindenburg. Right. Like
exactly.
in 2 seconds. Yeah.
So I think what folks are starting to realize here is that there ain't a lot of names out there that kind of fit Florida. What are you going to do? Go get Bob Stoops? You're going to get Bob Stoops?
Ooh, that'd be fun. Come back? That'd be fun. Take your time. Take your time with it. We'll see. M.L. Rose, everybody, check out one of their 7 great locations. Great craft beer menu, great ranch dip, the best wings in the city, great burger menu, fantastic stuff. M.L. Rose, and 2-for-1 drink specials on Saturdays during SEC games, and a brunch menu that includes, wait for it, a sandwich called the SEC. So there you go, folks. Go to M.L. Rose if you're in Middle Tennessee. If you live in Middle Tennessee, go check out M.L. Rose. Great 7 great locations. Wing Wars, baby. Wing Wars. Kentucky and Vanderbilt doing well in the Wing Wars. What are we doing? Anyway, speaking of Vanderbilt,
I don't blame them. Congrats to them.
This is a real thing that happened. I just want to read. I'm just going to say this factually. No opinions here.
All right.
A Vanderbilt Commodores backup quarterback in garbage time completed a touchdown pass to a future NFL tight end in Blacksburg in a blowout. That was a factual statement with no opinion.
Let me tell you something. When Vanderbilt was down 10 in the first half, I was like, uh-oh. Okay. All right. But I was also kind of like, I was watching, I was paying attention. Like, I was watching, I don't want to throw myself out there, but I was watching a lot of that Vanderbilt about that game with all that Michigan game was going on, Oklahoma, because it was a dud. Michigan, Oklahoma was.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about that in a second.
Whatever. Second half, we got to ramp up.
John Mateer. John Mateer is fun, man.
I love me some John Mateer. And Bryce Underwood was fun to watch.
Which we knew.
That is like Vanderbilt's not like your pushover guys. Like, this is not the same Vanderbilt team from years past, and because they have that stigma attached to their name, it's Vanderbilt. I bet Diego or Clark said something at halftime, and because Vanderbilt came out in the second half and whipped their ass like all over the field. Diego was downfield 15 yards, putting hits on defensive tackles and blocking. So we're setting ourselves up for a fun game in Columbia on Saturday, because I don't think that South Carolina is about to run through Vanderbilt and LaNorris Sellers. By the way, I saw what South Carolina did this past weekend to their heated rival, South Carolina State. There's a lot that needs to be proved. So right now, too, Vanderbilt has weapons on offense. Their defense is playing good, and I get it was Virginia Tech, folks. I understand it. I know
Virginia Tech's a proud program.
It's a program. Yes, I mean,
and they played well against South Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Vanderbilt walked in there was only 30,000 people. There was a 60,000 sellout stadium at Lane. Yes. Like, it was tough.
And they were down. And they were down early. Like,
by
they
10.
went 34. They went 34-0 in the second half on the road against a quality ACC program. I've never heard of Vanderbilt doing that.
Walked out of the locker room and said, "Watch this."
I've never heard of it.
So props to Vanderbilt, and that's why I think Saturday night.
So how good is South Carolina? That's what we're going to find out.
I'm still out, and I don't know if we're going to find that out against Vanderbilt.
Really? Okay.
No offense, Vanderbilt. They beat Virginia Tech, and then they beat South Carolina State. Like, I'm being honest with you. Like, what are we supposed to garner from that? Like, I know that Nick Arbor's good. I know Swain's good. I know LaNorris can be really good, and I know Dylan Stewart's good. And they got other players. They got
their secondary. Kilgore's pretty good. Like, they got some good players in the
Kilgore's good. Yes. Like, it's a good football team, but I need to see them play a really good football team.
Honestly, I know that LSU Florida's a big game. I don't, if things go the way we've seen this season, LSU wins that game easily. We'll talk Georgia and Tennessee in a second. I think Alabama rolls over Wisconsin. Like, Ole Miss, Arkansas is interesting. How healthy is Austin Simmons? Like, there's lots of great schedule of games this week. I am almost more interested in Vanderbilt, South Carolina than anything else because Pavia and Sellers. It's so good. It's such a good game. And Vanderbilt, hasn't Vanderbilt lost 1,000 in a row to South Carolina?
I think it's 19. I think it's 19 games in a row to South Carolina, but that could change on Saturday. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying it. When has Vanderbilt been scared to play an opponent in the last 2 years under Clark Lee?
None. Nobody. Beat Bama, almost beat Texas. Anchor down, baby. Although I do have one point to make. Okay. To you Vanderbilt folks who are listening, you do know that anchor down is like the opposite of getting the boat moving, right? Like grammatically, anchor down means like stop.
You're stuck.
Like there's a reason stuck. The Naval Academy says anchors away.
Right. Anchor down. We're putting it into the ground, boys.
Anchor down is time. Anchor down is time to fish.
I grew up on the Gulf Coast. I know what anchor down means. Okay. Right. That means you're throwing it over the boat and you're not moving.
I'm just saying it's a little odd. It's a little grammatically incorrect. Go Doors. All right. Oklahoma quickly here. I thought it was exactly what we expected, which is the home team with the more experienced quarterback outlasted the other team. And that was it.
And we talked about that.
Yeah, I didn't think it was more complicated than that. Here's my thing, though. Great win for Venables. Big win for the program. Maybe they're a playoff contender, maybe not. I don't know. I love John Mateer. I love watching him play. This is what we expected out of him and Ben Arbuckle when they got brought in together. I want to know if they can survive with him carrying the ball 19 times and running like a fullback, like Tebow, even though he's not that big. Yeah, he's pretty good at protecting himself. He has no problem taking risks with the football through the air, like all fantastic stuff. But they don't have any support for him on, I think, in a true running game, which is going to be their problem. So that was my takeaway, which is like, love this team, love the quarterback, love what I'm watching, super fun. Johnny Manziel, Patrick Mahomes type stuff. But if you can't support him with the running game, I don't know what that means in the big games coming up.
It was a slobber knocker. Like we talked about it last week. Like we thought it would be something like that. And at the same time, like Bryce Underwood, growing pains. Like we all saw it. Like Bryce Underwood has talent. He'll be okay. But there were growing pains. So with John Mateer, man, I just like his veteran presence in the pocket. I'll be honest with you. Like I do. Like he's reliable. He can get the ball down the field. He can make plays with his legs. I agree with you about the running game because I wonder when they get in that situation where, I don't know, are they going to when they play Auburn or something, and Auburn is, in my opinion, pretty good in the darn secondary. Okay, well, how much is John
and very good and very good on the defensive line? So.
Correct. So how are they going to be able to dice them up? You're going to have a running game to establish what you're going to be able to do against a team like Auburn, and I could go on and on about others. But yeah, so that part concerns me a little bit, but I think. Also, at the same time, like this is once again where you had two good teams playing each other. I say good. I'm using that term for Michigan because I think Michigan catches like 3 to 4 more losses this year.
I think Oklahoma could lose 3 times or 4 times.
I got Texas losing 3 games this year too. So I mean, like, yeah, I did.
So Missouri's going to the playoff, baby. Let's go.
Right, exactly. Congrats, Missouri or South Carolina. You're going to make the playoff.
By the way, Border War, thank you for coming back and making that happen. Whoever that was, that young man's name who lifted up the shirt and gave up $25,000 to kick the field goal at Kansas's football team, hero status immediately. I hope he doesn't pay for beers in campus, and I hope he's having a fine time dating in Columbia.
I didn't realize that he had his leg amputated.
I didn't know that either. That's wild.
Till I watched the video, and then I read the story where they had called him the night before, and he was like. So they called him the night before, and he asked how long the field goal was. And they said, well, it's going to be 45 yards. And he goes, well, okay, forget that. I got to come up with a different plan. So that's when he decided to paint Bleep U, Kansas, KU on his chest.
No, it just said FKU, which is classy.
Yeah, FKU.
Actually.
And then he turned right towards the Kansas bench and just dribbled the ball kicked the ball to him.
I know we were talking Oklahoma. But Oklahoma, Missouri people hate each other too, so that's cool.
That's a wretched rivalry too. That Kansas, Missouri, like
those guys, yeah. I was talking to Dawn Davenport, who's here in Nashville, of course, locally, and I'm friends with her, and we were chatting, and she was doing the sideline reporting for that game. And I asked her, I was like, how's the crowd, man? It looked pretty awesome. And she was like, when I did my live hit from the student section, the Missouri student section, like my producer and I were talking back and forth, and I was like, I cannot say the words Kansas in this report. I have to say the visiting team, because if you say Kansas, the whole student section reads fuck Kansas. And so she's sitting there, and she's looking at these kids going like, can you guys just please not cuss for 30 seconds, please? And I was like, hell yeah, man. This is like Civil War era rivalry. Like, let's go, man. It's great.
Take your ass out to the concourse.
Good football game. Congrats to Missouri. They don't play anybody this week. Neither does Texas or Auburn or whatever or Kentucky.
But we need more of that, by the way. I need
John
more
Mateer,
of that type of rivalry. So
agree.
By the way, and then John Mateer, I think he's going to be a problem for teams this season. But again, going back to what you said, they got to figure out the running game.
Yeah. I don't know if you have any thoughts on Ole Miss. They're at home, 7-point favorite against Arkansas. I don't think.
Don't let Taylor Green get hot. That's my thought.
He's running around like crazy. I don't.
I know he is. And they just lost Monty Harrison, wide receiver, the 30-year-old former baseball player turned wide receiver, who was a weapon, by the way. But now they're down a receiver.
Stoops' teams, the one thing they do well is they play well against like Georgia and Ole Miss. And I don't know how they do it. I
mean, they had freaking Zach Calzada out there trying to complete passes, and Lane and them screwed up multiple times on drives. By the way, but I don't know what the hell. I mean, damn you, Lane Kiffin, for calling the timeout and letting Stoops think about kicking.
Oh, he knew it too. He walked right up to the reporter and he's like, "Sorry to all the gamblers out there." And I was like, as someone who had Ole Miss -10, I was upset.
Yes. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you're killing me, man. And you're only helping Stoops. But by the way, I did not know that Kate Kiffin, Stoops, and Drinkwitz had a group text. Did not know that. Just them three. So,
well, isn't every combination of SEC coach have a group text?
Yeah, well, they all have group. They're all in one big group text, but they have side group.
Right?
Text.
Isn't the main one like Kiffin, Smart? Because like Napier was a former assistant of Saban's as well. Heupel's in it. Yeah. Yes. That's a good one. That'd be a good one to be in. I want to be in the Kiffin Smart one. That's what I want to be in.
But I think Lane tweeted out a photo, texted all them a photo of him doing yoga, and then Drinkwitz was like, "Go whip his ass, Stoops," like just talking. Just absolute trash, which I love because Lane Kiffin is probably the best trash talker in the conference, besides Dan Lanning. I know this is not a Dan Lanning Oregon show, but man, his pregame speech about going out and whipping Oklahoma State's ass.
I think it matters because if you look at
violent.
Oklahoma State, Virginia Tech, and Florida are all very, very proud, very successful programs from like the mid-2000s to like the mid-2010s, and all three of them had bad losses over the weekend, and all three of them could be looking for coaches, and that could affect Arkansas if they're looking for a coach. That could affect the dominoes because Oklahoma State, Virginia Tech, and Florida are all pretty good jobs, relatively speaking. So,
by the way, just real quick, do you think it's time for Gundy to go at Oklahoma State?
He's got to retire. Yeah, dude, they went over in the Big 12 last year.
I know. Trust me.
You know how hard that is to do.
70 hung on you. Yeah.
So I think the biggest indictment is when, and this goes for any coach in the SEC too. If you get destroyed by a better program, the way Oklahoma State did to Oregon, and like the common analysis, like smart analysis, like good quality analysis is like, oh, that's to be expected. Oregon is just a significantly better team than you. That's the problem.
Yes.
Like that. Yeah. That's the problem is that logically, like if Arkansas gets destroyed by Texas A&M, which they never do, it's always a great game. And it's like 70-7 and like, oh, well, they've got better players at every position. It's like, yeah, that's the problem.
Dude, 3 years ago, Oklahoma State was fighting for a playoff berth. Yeah, now they're getting beat by 67 points or 68 points in Oregon. Like, stop, bro. You got to go. Bye-bye.
Time to go. He's a historic figure there too. Like he'll have a statue, and like he's the winningest coach basically in modern Oklahoma State history. Like he deserves his victory lap. This should be. But
Oklahoma State's about to be one of those programs that fall to the wayside in this era of college athletics, and they're not going to be able to get it back.
Yeah, just don't give
North Carolina.
Yeah, there you go. All right, I want to know who you're going to learn more about this week: Georgia, Tennessee, or Texas A&M.
It all depends on if Marcel Reed is fully healthy for Texas A&M. I hope so. I think Tennessee. Okay. I could go both ways. Gunnar Stock. It threw me off how many times Georgia threw the ball against Austin Peay. I think it was 33 times. They threw the ball 33 times, but only scored 28 points. How the hell is that possible against Austin Peay? They scored one touchdown per quarter. I know they had rain delays. I get that part. I understand it. Whatever.
They had over, and then they're averaging like 7 yards a carry and like 230 yards on the ground.
Right.
215 yards on the ground.
You throw the ball that much, like whatever. So that.
All right. Well, what does it tell you? What does it tell you?
It tells me they're trying to build Gunnar Stockton's confidence.
They're warming him up.
Yeah, they're warming him up. Yeah. And when I was talking to a coach about that yesterday, it's kind of what they've given me. that, hey, man, we're trying to get this guy in a rhythm here. And I was like, okay, cool. But did you really need to throw it that many times against Austin Peay? Like, this is a Georgia coach that asked that question. And he was like, well, I don't really have a good answer for you. And I'm like, I know you don't. But at the same time, like, I get what they were doing. Like, this is also the other thing, too. Like, I understand Gunnar came in last year in the SEC title game for Carson. But Gunnar Stockton's about to make his first road game appearance in front of 102,000 people on Saturday afternoon, and that place is going to be absolutely bananas. Like, it's going to be bonkers.
Yes, it will. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oklahoma bonkers. And when you go 8 years and you hadn't beat the team, like, that's what happens. But you asked me, like, the overall.
They haven't been close to Kirby Smart. Josh Heupel's balls have not been close. Have not been close to Kirby Smart's dogs. Kirby
Smart's kryptonite. I mean, I remember being at that 2022 game in Athens, where everybody thought Hendon Hooker and they were going to go in there and win. No,
it's
the year
players.
after. No.
It's the players. It's the players. Josh Heupel's system. I'm still curious if Josh Heupel's system can overcome a talent differential. It has happened on occasion. It happened to Alabama last year, but as we're learning, that's a Kalen DeBoer Alabama team. Certainly, it happened 2 years ago at home against Alabama with the crazy Hendon Hooker game against Bryce Young. But that's the only time. That's really the only time that it's like genuinely worked. It has never come close against Georgia. Great stuff by you, by the way. Outkick.com. Make sure you check it out. Again, a great story about Joey Aguilar and Nico. One of my favorite lines in here is, if there ever was a poster child for what not to do in these situations, Nico Yamaleava would be on the cover. And I thought for sure.
He plays Friday night, by the way, so I know he'll be watching on Saturday. That's why I put that in there.
I know for sure. I don't know anything about this Tennessee team yet. We're going to find out to your point, I think we're going to learn more about them this week than Georgia or A&M. Both great games. I don't know if we're going to learn that much about LSU, honestly, because the way Florida's playing, we're just not sure they're at home as well. I think if they are in the game and Joey Aguilar looks composed and looks like he's running the offense the way Josh Heupel wants him to, they don't need to win the game for me to be completely impressed and to say, I was wrong about Tennessee. I think they're much better than I thought. And a lot of that hinges on the defense's development overall, because they're not going to have McCoy. They're not going to have some of those defensive starters in the secondary. Gibson. They're not going to they're still shorthanded. But home crowd, can the quarterback make the difference the way Hendon Hooker made the difference? And so that is the question. And if he does, then I think we can talk about Tennessee in a different way.
I'll throw one at you here. Does Josh Heupel, after 2 games, finally say, okay, Boo Carter, go do your thing on offense. Go touch the ball as many times as you can. We're going to use you as a decoy. Get all in up on the defense. I mean, I saw his 2 punt returns against, I know it's ETSU, but the guy is a weapon. And you're paying him. By the way, you've already paid him near $1 million, and when you front loaded the deal, so you might as well get his ass out there and actually do something.
How many punts in a row has the offense had? Because that's when they get to 3 or 4, that's when they're going to bring Boo Carter in on offense.
I think they had to put him in a slot. And I think that they got to, they got to run him as a decoy, fake some reverses that you have to, open it up down the field. Kirby is sitting there waiting for Boo to enter the game on offense. Like, it's not going to be some, oh my God, Boo Carter's in the game. No, they're going to know he's coming.
Who thought of that?
Who thought of that? Like, it's coming, but you got to be able to use him now. You got to go see if it works or not. Like, there's preparation for games.
This is all about the line of scrimmage.
Yes.
And I know that's such an old football cliche, but Georgia-Tennessee is about the line of scrimmage, and Tennessee has never won that battle on either side.
Georgia ran it down their throats
on either side.
Backup running backs last season.
And I don't know why it would be different this year. I don't. And now, again, can the quarterback do something special, prove that the trade was the right thing for Josh? Because Josh Heupel, if they play well and Aguilar plays well, this is vindication for Josh Heupel. Full stop. Because I was like, I understand why you did it. I respect why you did it. I understand why the fans are backing you up, but I don't know if you're better because of it. And, and they might be.
I write for a living and talk for a living, just like you do. Okay. If they go out and win that game on Saturday.
Oh God.
Do you understand how much shit talking is going to happen? Like,
actually, Nico feel bad for Nico.
No, I don't. No. I feel bad for Nico. I don't feel bad for his agent and father who got him in this situation. But I will say, just picture this, okay? Just real quick. Everything leading up to this game. Joey Aguilar I wrote an article about it today, but my article is more about how Joey got to Tennessee.
Yeah, it's very good stuff. I highly recommend.
Joey Aguilar wins the game for Tennessee, or has a good game, and then ESPN is interviewing him after the game, and he gives like a wink at the camera afterward. I'm just saying, like, everything that's happened in the last 5 months can come to a full dynamite explosion if Tennessee wins on Saturday.
He's got to go full Diego Pavia if they win. Like, just go full Diego Pavia in the post-game interview.
Right.
Like Antioch, California, in the house.
In the house. But we say that, and Gunnar Stockton will be the one getting interviewed.
I have Georgia minus the 3.5. I have Georgia minus 3.5. So
I do too. As
a Tennessee alumni, I'm hedging my bets emotionally.
Well, as somebody that's seen Tennessee have just as much talent as Georgia at certain spots over the last 4 years, I'm mainly talking 2022, probably 23 was interesting. Like, you got to go out there and prove it before I'm going to start picking you to win these games. Like, now I'll pick Tennessee to beat Alabama because they've
done it twice. Yeah. Josh Heupel's got 2 wins. Yeah.
Right. But Kirby Smart, literally, it's like he has kryptonite like hiding underneath the shirt when he goes and shakes his hand midfield, and Josh just breaks down.
I mean, you say has better players. Funny, Trey. You say kryptonite. I say better players.
Yeah. All around talent is better at Georgia than it is at Tennessee.
And in particular along the lines of scrimmage. So we'll see this week if that. Honestly, we'll learn about Georgia too. If they go up there and play well, like, all bets are off. They're in that top 3, top 4, top 5, like they should be again. So
absolutely,
I think Stockton's going to play well. They have a first round pick, on the defensive line in Miller. They got a first round pick at linebacker in Allen. They got a first round pick in corner. They got a first round pick. Like, they got dudes, man. They got dudes.
Yeah.
So we're going to learn more about them. But I just think the answers are there in Georgia's offense and defense. We just don't know all the names yet. Whereas Tennessee, I think there's some of that with Tennessee. Like, some of those defensive front 7 players are going to turn into stars by the end of the year. But I just think they need to find weapons. And to your point, that's where Brew Carter comes in. So
yeah, but I think Georgia is such a question mark because people that don't know the Georgia football team if they really don't research them. So they're like, okay, because all that money came in on Tennessee at first and dropped the line from like 7.5 to 3.5. I think a lot of people are going to start buying that back over the next couple of days.
Well, I bought it at 3. I think I got it at 3 or 3.5, and it went up to 4. So they bought it back up to 4, and I think now it's coming back. So we'll see. You said Marcel Reed not healthy. I know Mike Elko had said, I believe at his presser 2 days ago or yesterday on Monday or Tuesday, that he said, "Hey, everything's going to be fine." Reed said, "Quote, I'll be there for Notre Dame."
He just a little dinged
up.
Healthy. So yeah, he's just a little dinged up. But I think, I ask you this: if CJ Carr goes out there and balls out, Notre Dame, all right, let's not even say balls out, just handle business, and then they actually get the ball to Jeremiah Love more than 12 times, Miami game.
That offensive line, dude. Notre Dame's offensive line got destroyed by Miami. I think A&M can do some work there. So, but
they didn't even test him in the flats, Jeremiah. Only a certain amount of time. So what I'm getting at is, in your opinion, Texas A&M go up to Notre Dame and win Saturday?
I don't know if they can win, but if it's the same type of game as last year, which is like sort of 2 teams early in the year feeling each other out, and then extra physical teams. And in the late third quarter, Notre Dame starts leaning on that great offensive line and leaning on those running backs and kind of leaning on the Notre Dame or the Texas A&M front. And they started breaking off, those 4 and 5 yard runs turned into 9 and 10 yard runs. And Notre Dame just kind of pushed them into the ground in the fourth quarter. I don't think Notre Dame can do that this year. And so if that's the kind of game, I think the team that is equipped to do that is A&M, not Notre Dame. So I like A&M plus the 7 here if I had to pick. I don't know if they can win outright, though. That's my concern.
I wouldn't be surprised if Marcel Reed comes out, though, and again, if he's 100%, which nobody's going to be 100%. So everybody out there knows what I mean by that. But at least comes out there and scrambles outside the pocket, makes some plays with his legs, gets the ball downfield. I could see Texas A&M going in and beating Notre Dame. And by the way, if Texas A&M beats Notre Dame, is Notre Dame done? Like, are they done? You catch 2 losses in the first 3 games of the season.
You mean playoff? Like playoff?
Yeah.
You'd have to go 10-2,
right?
Because I think there's going to be a lot of really worthy and good 9-3 teams around the country. Like there could be some really good 9-3 teams. Like pick somebody in the SEC. I mean, Alabama, although that's a bad loss, but like Texas,
Missouri.
Alabama, Oklahoma, Tennessee could be a really good 9-3 team. Like there's a lot of teams that could be 9-3 and be pretty good. And they're going to have good resumes. And I don't know if Notre Dame's 9-3 resume would be good enough to get them in with like 2 losses to the best team.
Because I don't know if they'd be ranked high enough to grab that automatic that they would get if they were in 7-12.
Yeah, because like I mean, again, like USC's on the schedule. There's a few other big games, but like these are the big 2. These are 2 of the big ones for them. So, all right,
congrats to USC for having to travel all the way from Los Angeles to Purdue this weekend. Hope you have a good time in the Big Ten. That's gotta
is that a 9? Is that a 12? Is that a 11 a.m.?
Yeah, dude. Like it's
Oregon. Oregon's playing Northwestern at 9 a.m. body clock time. So we'll see if the body clock matters.
Michigan State's going to USC, and we'll be playing at 11 o'clock Eastern time body time. 11 o'clock.
So you're really concerned about the Spartans, is what you're saying?
I can give a shit about the Spartans. I don't care. They're not.
All right.
What I am saying is these times are absolutely screwed up. It would probably help that AP voter if it was a little earlier in the day for Southern Cal.
Where can the good people find all your work? Tell everybody.
I'm gonna stop getting you in trouble.
I'm not in trouble. I run my own company, man. I decide whatever I want.
That's a good point.
I'll say all the bad words.
At Trey Wallace _Biatch, and then outkick.com.
Is it BIOTCH _Biatch Trey Wallace? Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. I'll change it up. But no, man,
it's at _ML Rose, which I'm sure they love being associated with this conversation. Follow Trey and all his
but Vanderbilt and Kentucky are killing it in the wing contest.
Ridiculous.
Shocked by that.
The rest of you big clubs. Let's go.
Where are you, Auburn alumni in the Nashville area? Where the heck are y'all at?
They're celebrating. ML Rose, 7 great locations. Trey Wallace, Outkick. Always a pleasure, my guy. Great to see you. Enjoy the game. I assume you'll be in Knoxville for the game, right?
Yeah, 40 minutes away. I'd be stupid not to be there.
Yeah, you'll be there. So I'll be checking the feed and seeing what happens. So have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for again, rate, review, subscribe, all that great stuff. Enjoy week number 3. It goes fast, everybody. For Trey, I'm Braden. Thanks for hanging out. We'll talk to you next time.